Today I'm going to show you a couple workflows with the Esri software, specifically the ArcGIS Online interface between Collector and the ArcGIS Online account, and also Esri Survey123. So first, right here, this is an iPad. It's live. It's connected to an Arrow Gold receiver, connected to an antenna on our roof, so I can stay inside and get good accuracy. This is the interface app with the Arrow product line, and this is horizontal estimated accuracy and vertical, and this is in meters. And you can see right now we are using SBAS, standard SBAS corrections for sub-meter accuracy. It can see 29 satellites and is utilizing 17 of them. We can tap here and we can see, being the Arrow Gold, it can actually track each of the available satellite constellations out there. So it's tracking GPS, GLONASS, the European Galileo, the Chinese Beidou, and QZSS, but it's not actually using these two because they're too far off on the periphery at this moment in time. But you can see it's using 8 GPS, 5 GLONASS, and 2 Galileo right now to determine our location. And that's our latitude, our longitude. And this is the ellipsoid height, the height above ellipsoid in meters. If you want to see what your mean sea level is, you can tap on map view here, and you can see mean sea level is about 58.5 meters for our location. One cool thing I did want to show you, this is standard SBAS corrections for sub-meter. It comes straight from the satellites. However, this is an RTK device, so I'm going to flip over real quick and I'm going to activate RTK for better accuracy. And you can see almost immediately it went to fixed, and we're getting about 6, 7, 8 centimeters, or actually millimeters, I'm sorry, at this point. So this is in meters, so this would be 0.8 centimeters or 8 millimeters. Now for the fun stuff, let's flip over to Collector, and this is a sample that we have right here. This is the basic aerial imagery that's being provided by Collector. You can actually change your aerial imagery to just maps if you would prefer. That's over here, base maps. So there's other options if you prefer street map view. I prefer imagery, especially for doing field work. So basically, your project data and your data collection forms, you have to push it from your GIS database to your ArcGIS Online account, and then with the same login, you can log into your iPad device in Collector and view project data and collect data. So what I want to show here very quickly, it's very simple to collect data. Up here in the upper portion here, if we turn that on, I'm sorry, it actually zoomed onto our position. So now we're using where we're standing right now for our position. And then to collect data, we hit this little plus button over here. And so here's some sample points we have. I'm going to choose this sample point option here. And I am going to just put in a little bit of data here. Description, these can be drop-down menus, or you can type them in. So we'll just put test 1. And these can be very long, complicated collection forms, or very simple, like this one here. Today's date. And then if we want to add a photo, use photo. You can take multiple photos if you need to. And the other cool thing about Collector is at any time we can pop that little box up in the bottom there, in the bottom left, and we can see that we're connected to an EOS receiver. We can see this is live coming in right now, our horizontal and vertical accuracy. or RTK fix, which is what we want. Our diff age is 2 seconds, preferably below 3. And you can see that I've applied a location profile since I'm using RTK and not standard SBAS. And then in the upper right corner, we click submit. And then if you come over here and watch this area here, since we're connected to the internet, we should see it pop up here within a minute or so. And here's our sample point. See test 1, and you can see it automatically captured our estimated horizontal and vertical accuracy, our lat long, our DOPs, which don't really mean anything anymore, but also automatic date and time. So that was just kind of a quick example there of how this works. And then if you're inside here and you're back in the office and you need to view your data and do your reporting and you want to see some photos that are related to the specific points you took, you can click on them and they'll open a new page and you can view the photo right here from within ArcGIS Online. Now what I'd like to do is switch us over to the Survey123. So here you can see I have this in just the standard map view and not in aerial imagery, but this is some data that I've collected with a Raptor Nest Survey123 form. And the cool thing about this is you can toggle this on and off so you can see the table at the same time as you can see the map. And you can click on this data here and you can view the data that was collected. And then I want to show you Survey123 back here on the iPad. So in particular, I would want to collect a Raptor Nest point here. So at the bottom, I'm going to tap collect. It's going to load my form and the date populated automatically. And then for our map, if we tap that right there, it's going to zoom on to us. And one thing to keep in mind is that the downfall Survey123 is it will not collect our metadata the way Collector will. They're kind of two different animals. But we can choose a ground survey, and let's say we are looking at, let's say, an American kestrel, and there's 2 adults. We can't see eggs or chicks, and typically these guys nest in cavities. So let's say cliff cavity. Let's say the nest is facing southwest. Surrounding habitat is other, and then we had a new box pop up for other. So I'm going to just type in urban. And actually real quick, let's scroll up here so we can see this populate. Come back here. Nest status is active. Nest condition is good. And at the bottom right, we tap this check sign and we can send it later. Say you're working remotely, you don't have cell service anyways, or we can send it now, or we could click continue survey if we hit this by accident and still had stuff to fill out. So let's say send now. Okay. So here is our ArcGIS Online, and again we log in to Survey123 with the same login account that we used with ArcGIS Online, and we can see the data that I've collected, some dummy data, but we want to see our American kestrel pop up right here, so let's hit refresh. And this creates a super cool real-time workflow between people in the field working in areas with cell service and the people in the field. You can see there's our American kestrel, March 30th, and there's the day that we entered. So lots of very cool stuff going on with the Esri workflow, and a lot of way to speed up back in the office processes.